Lexington Law, CreditRepair.com, The Credit Pros. If any of those names sound familiar to you, it's probably because you've either used or considered using a credit repair agency. In today's video, we're going to talk about why I don't recommend using a credit repair agency, and I'll also give you the pros and cons of using them. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Jazzy Mac. I'm so happy to be back with you. It's so great to just sit here and talk. I did my hair and my makeup and I'm just so excited. I'm so happy. The baby's finally sleeping, so I get to do these videos and follow up on many of the questions that you all had around credit repair companies. Now, many of you know, anybody that has used my templates for cleaning up your credit, many of you have tuned into my videos. You guys know how I feel about credit repair agencies. I am not a fan of them. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm just saying they're not all good either. And I will tell you why. I am doing this video as a direct response to having a friend recently reach out to me saying, "Hey, Jazzy, I didn't want to come to you because I was ashamed. And I didn't want to tell you about my credit situation because I didn't want you to know how bad it was." And she went on to say that she'd been using a credit repair company that had basically taken her money and they had not done anything for her credit. In fact, they stopped answering the phone for her. And this made my blood boil. Simply because, number one, you don't ever have to be ashamed to come to me and ask me anything about your credit. There is no judgment coming from me when it comes to credit. I've been in the 400s before, people. I will not judge anybody. There's nothing on your credit that a person could show me that would make me say, "Oh my gosh," there is nothing for me to judge. So when she came to me and she was like, "Hey, I hadn't told you about my credit situation because I was ashamed." Well, that was the first thing that sort of pissed me off because I'm a friend, I'm your sister, I'm your girl. I'm here to support you, not judge you. The second thing that upset me was that she paid someone to fix her credit. And I've always said to you guys that there is nothing that a credit repair agency can do for your credit that you cannot do for yourself. But I digress. Let's just get back to the list of the pros. I'm going to give you the pros of credit repair agencies. And notice I keep using air quotes because these are very hypothetical pros that I'm going to discuss. The first hypothetical pro is that, oh, someone's going to do this for me. Someone's going to fix your credit for you. You can sit back, relax, kick your feet up, and you'll go to sleep and wake up one day and your credit's going to be fixed, right? Wait, I just had to, I got some stuff I'm going to use. Trust me. You'll see why I went over there. All right. Hypothetical pro number 2. It's going to give you quick results, right? You're going to essentially get someone to sweep your credit clean. And that's going to just kind of happen overnight, right? And then number 3, after that sweep happens, there's going to be a credit boost in your score. Your score is going to go from 400 to 800 overnight, right? And then the fourth pro of using a credit repair agency is it's cheap, right? Okay. So those were the pros. You say something like, "Oh, it's cheap. I only had to pay this person $50 a month, or I only had to submit a upfront payment of $1,200 and they're going to just repair my credit. I'm going to get that house. I'm going to get that car. I'm going to get that job. I'm going to get this, this, and this, and that." Right? Wrong. I just want to share a little bit with you all about the laws before I get into the cons of using credit repair agencies. So, I shall tell you, I shall quote to you what the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau says, and you guys know the CFPB is like my buddy. They're like my big brother. I always have used them as a back pocket sort of card trick for when I was working on my credit. And I put this in like the credit roadmap, like how to properly utilize the CFPB to help your credit. That's in my roadmap. But the CFPB isn't just for like credit. It's like for all things financial. And what the CFPB, and I'm going to quote what they said, according to the telemarketing sales rule, it's illegal for a company to charge you for credit repair unless it has been 6 months since the company achieved the promised results. Therefore, your credit report has to show that the promised results were achieved 6 months earlier than when you were billed. Okay, so I'm just going to translate that into layman's terms. So any credit repair agency that is charging you up front to get started on repairing your credit is operating illegally. And I literally just read it to you. And I also put it on the screen for you. When it comes to credit repair, you can think of the services or the act of repairing credit. Think of it in the way of how you would take your car to a mechanic shop. Now, if your car is making a really bad noise and it's breaking down and you just don't know what the issue is and you want to take your car to a mechanic to be fixed, well, that mechanic isn't going to say, okay, you just give me $1,000 up front, and then when I'm done fixing your car, I'll call you. No, that's not how mechanics work. Mechanics will say, okay, bring your car here. I'll see what the issue is. I'll fix it. I'll test drive it. I'll test drive it some more. And then when I'm super sure that it's fixed, and when I can vouch and say that the problem no longer exists and it won't come back, then I'll call you and send you an invoice. And then you'll send me the payment. So if that's how a mechanic works for someone repairing your car, well, shouldn't credit repair be the same concept? Why would I pay someone like up front to work on my credit, and I have to just hope and pray that they're going to give me like good results? Number one, it's not a very good method to live by. And number two, it's also illegal, as I've told you. If you're going to pay for credit repair, which I do not recommend, but if you're going to, they should not be charging you a dime until they've gotten actual results. So that means that they should have sat down with you first to say, this is what I can do for your credit. These are the type of results you're going to see. And 6 months from now, when you see those results, after those results have been rendered, then you will issue me the payment. That is how this thing is supposed to go, but it usually doesn't. So I'm just going to go through a list of red flags because I know some of y'all don't listen to me, okay? And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. But I just want to give you some red flags that you need to look out for because so many of you have been victims of trusting people and trusting these companies to wipe your credit clean and not knowing even like what questions to ask or how to like properly vet these people. So I don't have an actual red flag with me, but I got this right here. This is like, this is what we're going to use for our red flag. I got it upside down. All right. This is going to be my red flag today. So every time I wave this, yes, we are Alabama fans in this house. Sorry, Auburn fans. Every time I wave this is going to be indicative of a red flag that needs to make you run away from people that want you to pay for credit repair. So the first thing is, I've already mentioned it, asking for upfront payment, red flag, red flag. If they ask you for an upfront payment, you should say, hey, that's illegal. And I'll show you. The CFPB said you can't ask me for that. Okay. Now, if that isn't enough for you, like I said, you can read through the Credit Repair Organization Act and explain to them why that is illegal. Number two, if a credit repair company asks you to misrepresent yourself, that is a red flag. And what that means is sometimes they may ask you to open up an additional trade line or to open up to get an EIN from the IRS, an employee identification number, asking you to get like, extra things to sort of like supplement your identity. Red flag. Okay. The third thing that should be a huge red flag is if they're holding information back from you. If you're asking them questions about your credit, like, hey, what's on my credit? Or hey, like, why did you dispute a good standing account? And they can't tell you, or they say, oh, that information is not available, or that information is just our information. We can't share with you why we do things, or we can't share with you our methods of how we are disputing things. Red flag, okay? And then the fourth thing, like if they can't answer specific questions, like if you say, how many collection accounts do I have on my credit? Because they're fixing your credit, right? So they should know. How many late payments do I have? Well, what is the status of these payments? They can answer those questions. Red flag, okay? And like the most common sense red flag is generally when something is too good to be true. I often say like we should all be living with like a prosperous mindset where we have this expectancy mindset of good things happening to us and good things happening for us. But sometimes like depending on like where you come from, we can sometimes operate with like a scarcity mindset. So we sometimes expect bad things to happen, or we expect things to, we're like always like, oh, I don't know about that. It's too good to be true. Well, in this case, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. If they say we can take you from a 500 credit score to an 800 credit score in 30 days, that is too good to be true. Don't believe it. Run away. Hide your kids, hide your husband, everything, because that is just not true. Nobody can reasonably predict an exact score increase. Like, even if you call the credit bureaus, they cannot exactly predict how your score is going to jump over the next 30 days. So you want to make sure that whoever that you use or whoever that you decide to employ, although Jazzy Mac is telling you not to employ anyone, if you do that, you need to ask these questions. And if you don't feel good after asking all 5 of these questions, red flags, then you need to run away. Again, there is nothing that a credit repair agency can do for your credit that you can't do for yourself. Let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to go through and dispute a whole bunch of items on your credit. This is if they answer the phone after they take your money, because some of them just don't answer anymore. For the ones that do answer, generally they're just going to go and do a bunch of disputes. And they're going to do a bunch of disputes online. And many people have been labeled frivolous as a result of that because they're just disputing. They're just writing disputes. They're just pushing it out. They're throwing spaghetti at the walls and they're seeing what sticks. And that is what gets your account flagged by the credit reporting agencies. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you understand why I'm like so against credit repair companies, like, because usually they're like not honest companies. This is not to say that Lexington Law or, the TheCreditPros are bad companies. I'm just saying that like the people that I know that have used them have like still had to come to me for help with their credit. So if you're going to pay a company that much money, you need to make sure that like your credit is like perfect. I mean like 850 credit score perfect if you're going to pay for credit repair. Again, just always do your research. I can't dictate what you do after you turn this video off, but please do your due diligence and check these companies, ask these companies questions, and if you don't feel good about it, come on back to Jazzy Mac. Ask me, how can you clean up your credit? And I will tell you for free. Just comment below. I'm not going to charge you anything to tell you what I think might be helpful to your credit. Now, I don't offer credit repair because I don't believe in it. I believe in educating my people. That's what we'll do. We will educate you. and we will allow you to take the steps that you want to take to fix your credit. So I hope that was helpful. If you haven't already, please go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe. It does help my channel. You guys are so awesome. Like, I love just talking to you guys. You guys are like seriously like my family. Like, I just like sometimes I'm in the comments and I'm talking about like baby stuff with different moms and I'm like asking for tips and stuff, or like, we're just talking about like different hair products that I use or that they use. And like, it's just so cool. Like, I love you guys so much. So come on back to my channel. Let me know how I can help you, what content you want to see. I'm always happy to help, guys. Until the next time, ciao. See you later. Arrivederci. Bye.